Hello, Briony here from Kit Guru. Today I'm going to take a look at the Cerberus RGB mechanical gaming keyboard from ASUS. This keyboard retails for around £100 to £110. It's quite competitively priced compared to other keyboards on the market that also have RGB backlighting and mechanical switches. I think that you'd be quite hard pushed to find an equivalent keyboard for cheaper. The keyboard comes with a 1.8 meter braided cable and a USB 2 connector. I think that the braided cable looks really neat on the desk and it feels quite good quality as well. The keyboard has a good weight to it at just over 1200 grams. It feels solid and the build quality feels good. The body has a soft touch matte black finish to it as well as the keycaps themselves. I found this felt really nice to use, but I think that after a while it would probably attract dust quite easily, especially as the keyboard has some rather strange grooves in the top right hand corner. I think once any dust gets inside of those, you're not going to be getting it back out again. You have the option of some extra customization with the 4 orange keycaps that come with the keyboard. You also have a keycap puller so you can switch them out as well. I think that the product branding is reasonably tastefully done. There's a Cerberus logo in the top right hand corner and there's also a smaller logo just above the arrow keys as well. Unfortunately, there's no option of a wrist rest for this keyboard. I found it quite comfortable to use without one, but I think that it would be quite nice to have as an option. The Cerberus also has some onboard media controls, which I found quite easy to use and reach with just one hand. ASUS have decided to use the Kahua mechanical switches with this keyboard, and it's available in either red, brown, black or blue varieties. They claim that these switches have a lifespan of up to 70 million keystrokes. This is quite a bit higher than that of the Cherry MX mechanical switches, which claim to have up to 50 million keystrokes. To be honest, it's unlikely that anyone's going to max out the lifespan, but it just lets you know that they're extremely durable. The model that I've been reviewing uses the Kahua RGB brown switches. These switches are definitely comparable to that of Cherry MX browns, but they do feel slightly stiffer to press and they also seem to be quieter as well. I also found that the position of the LEDs on the Kahua switches was slightly different to that of Cherry MX's as well. The LEDs are housed just above the switches on the outside, whereas the LEDs on Cherry MX switches are housed within the plastic casing itself. Overall, I did find the Cerberus comfortable to type on and responsive to game with. I think that you can tell this keyboard was definitely designed with gamers in mind. It features 100% N key rollover, so it means that every key press is going to register accurately while you're gaming. The Cerberus also has a gaming mode. If you press the function and F6 key, the top right hand G lights up and the Windows key is disabled. The lighting effects will also change when you switch to gaming mode. The Cerberus has 5 different profiles to switch between, so you can set up your lighting effects and macro settings for your most popular games and switch between them. This keyboard also has on-the-fly macro recording, which I found pretty useful for quickly setting up a macro in a game as well. The lighting on this keyboard is reasonably good. All the colours are clear and bright and they show up well in daylight, although some colours do look better than others. The brightness settings on the keyboard are adjustable. There's an off and there's also 4 different gradients of brightness. There are 7 different lighting effects on this keyboard. These are static, breathing, reactive, explosion, colour shift, colour wave and custom. You can change these lighting effects on the keyboard itself using the function key and the left and right arrows. I tried plugging the keyboard into a different computer to see if it remembered the lighting effects, and it's quite good that it does. The lighting is also further adjustable if you use the Cerberus software as well. The Cerberus software, which you download from the ASUS website, is reasonably basic and quite clunky to use, especially compared to some of the software you get with the more high-end RGB keyboards. Using the software, the Cerberus lighting can be fully customized key by key. You can also further change some of the existing lighting effects, although I would have liked to see an option to change the speed of them. Any key on the keyboard can be reassigned, and the keyboard can also be programmed to switch between one of your 5 different profiles when you open a specific program. I think that this would be particularly useful for when you open a specific game and you want to load your macros and settings. There are more options within the software when it comes to macros. You can assign a key to open a specific program, and you can also view, create and edit your existing macros. It is good that ASUS have created some software for this keyboard. It gives you a few more options when it comes to lighting effects and macros, but I think after being spoilt with the likes of ROG Armory, this software definitely pales in comparison. It isn't as nice to use. There's also no option to sync the keyboard with any other ASUS products. Overall, I think that the Cerberus mechanical keyboard is alright. The software isn't brilliant, and I would like to see the option of a wrist rest, but you do get quite a bit for your money with the mechanical switches and RGB backlighting. I think that if you're in the market for an RGB keyboard and you've got around £100 to spend, then the Cerberus is definitely worth considering. That was my review of the Cerberus RGB mechanical gaming keyboard from ASUS. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from Kit Guru, hit the subscribe button.